For decades, not-for-profits were leaders in affordable housing. Then there was a change in the real estate market, government policies, which favored for-profit development. There needed to be a change, creating a more balanced environment in the affordable housing community. And the Joe is the game changer. The Joe is to basically level the playing field for not-for-profits to be put on the same footing as for-profit developers in the affordable housing community. So what are the things that the Joe is doing that makes those changes? Well, one, the ability to work as economies of scale. Private developers for years have been able to work through this issue, but not-for-profits have always struggled, being that they're had smaller portfolios, more difficult portfolios, dealing with harder populations, have been harder for them to achieve that economies of scale. But the Joe permits that and allows that for the collaboration and the aggregation of properties under one entity. Two, the Joe also permits groups to work unlimited geographically. Many not-for-profits are limited geographically either through their corporate documents or government regulations. The Joe provides the ability of groups to work across all different boundaries, just like private developers. The Joe also has been able to unlock project reserves, which private developers have done for years. So the Joe now has the ability to use their reserves across an entire portfolio instead of being limited to just working on one project. The Joe has also been able to find savings across a portfolio, which of thousands of units saves money for the projects and creates increased cash flow, and which is a major reward that gets provided to its members. So the Joe is that ability for not-for-profits to become competitive. And we think that this model is extremely important as a way of leveling the playing field. The solution was the creation of the Joe, the joint ownership entity. It's a not-for-profit membership organization, basically a joint venture of not-for-profits coming together, working together to create the scale necessary to compete with affordable housing developers. The Joe solves many of the problems which nonprofits cannot solve on their own. They can create scale, create economy of resources, savings across a portfolio, and use of reserves across a portfolio, which you cannot do as a single entity. So the Joe has been very successful during COVID in helping its members. One of the things that has been very helpful is that the Joe's reserves have been able to help members cover rent shortfalls during this time. Two, as an asset manager, has been able to find cost savings that allow the projects to remain profitable. And three, the members have been able to work together and communicate to talk about best practices and how to deal with issues that they are facing. So Goldstein Hall's role in creating the Joe was a really important lesson to us as a law firm. We had our own preconceived notions going into these meetings, what we thought it should be. But the first thing we had to do was actually listen to our clients. And that's really important. A lot of lawyers forget that. So we spent a lot of hours listening, trying to figure out, what do they want? It's not what we wanted, it's what they wanted. When it came to that, we spent hours and hours putting together PowerPoints, creating different legal structures, everything to try to show them under the sun. But after listening to them some more, we realized what they wanted. And they wanted a not-for-profit entity, something that looked like them. So part of it was our listening. The other part was that as lawyers, we had to be creative. We had to come up with a structure that met the demands of the client. And the other part that was really challenging for us is that we had to create new documents, things that we hadn't seen before, because we were creating a totally new entity. There were no forms to work off of. There was no book to go to. This is allowing lawyers to be creative and the ability to really think through a problem. And I think that the client really appreciated that. So it's a great honor for Goldstein Hall to be the recipient of the 2020 Grunin Prize. I have to say that all the hard work the people in the office have done on behalf of the Joe and its members, the countless hours working on this it feels like a real validation to us, and we truly appreciate that. Also, the prize really feels like a validation to the firm. We are a B Corp. We believe in a socially mission as a law firm, and to work with not-for-profits and other community development corporations to see them become successful and continue to preserve affordable housing is really important to us. I think that the Joe is a game changer. And I think in these times during COVID has really shown to be more than ever, affordable housing is at the forefront of the issues in America. We're dealing with issues of equity and race, that people are literally living paycheck to paycheck in this country, and the need to have affordable housing that is decent and affordable is really incredibly important. And hopefully the Joe is an innovative tool which will allow not-for-profits to remain competitive in their ability to preserve affordable housing long-term. So I really want to thank you for this award. It's a great honor. We really appreciate it. It means a lot to our firm. And the fact that we were even considered and that we've been finalists and winners, it's a tremendous feeling. Thank you again. We appreciate it very much.